questions about it's not a question of how, but why we do it. And of course, that context matters. Transplanting, importing models, and having nuanced critique of what we mean when we say microfinance doesn't work. These are all very important points. Right. So what I was thinking was that maybe we'll take a few, maybe 3 quick comments from the floor, and then, or particularly if there are questions, where you want some specific things clarified from the 2 speakers, maybe we can take that first, 2 or 3 such, and then move on. I think we have a mic. Yeah. Anybody? Yeah.
Thanks. Both very interesting. But I actually had a question on the whole kind of topic, right? Because there's been so much concern about debt, and so many organizations also trying to now deal with it. What I was told is, and it's an anecdote and very telling, because we're looking at it almost as at the very individual community level. That when they tried to explain to these community members the problems of debt and all that, they turned around and said, isn't it a bit strange that given that they use the word our king, referring to Mahindra Rajapaksa, our king has taken so many loans from the Chinese, and they go into millions and millions, and you want to know why we took 20,000. And so and essentially projecting back to us, like, here we are looking at why are there the issue of debt, why are so many people approaching it like this. And from that side the question is, well, isn't that the whole model economically, not just about how communities and individuals and families cope, right? But my question is this, for particularly I'd say in areas of the Lani like Kinnauchi and Mullaitivu, which came out of, for all times, a closed economy, where the maximum you could get was 50,000, and both Vagisha did a study and I did a separate study. What was really striking was that the lack of information people had, not just in terms of their ability to explain their loan and their credit schemes, etc., but also paperwork, right? And I just want to know from you all, what is the kind of standards that also you all have, and as a sector, where there's something about responsibility about explaining how the microcredit works, because I know it's obviously clearly something you all do, but also in terms of repayment, all of that, how much emphasis is there in general to explaining the credit loans, all of that, because that seems to be something that keeps cropping up over and over again. That doesn't explain the whole debt problem, but at least then people are doing it more responsibly. Thanks.
Clarification from Mr. Nadi Silva. You said 20% cap, and then it is an additional 20%. Just want to know what it really means.
You mean what the government does?
Yeah. What is that additional 20%? Because you said it's 40% in each case, effectively.
They said 20% flat interest rate. The maximum that anyone can charge is 20% flat, which is declining balance roughly 40%. You can't go above that. Earlier, the finance companies were charging 58 to 60%. Now they have said, no, you can't do that. It has to be 40%.
Is that
clear?
Yeah, we'll just take one more comment from Ilan, and then maybe.
What I want to raise is it relates to the title. Now, Samadhani was unpacking microcredit, and she stressed the different types of microfinance and so on. I think similarly, development intervention cannot be understood as a kind of a homogeneous thing. I think you take Sanasa's own experience. So Madani, I think you have, the Sanasa has gone through different types of development interventions. You know, if the history, I mean, the span is like 4 decades. So it's I think we should also have a, you know, unpack the kind of development intervention vis-a-vis microcredit. And if you take kind of a recent one, say the mid-90s, it's more sort of structural adjustment program, and that's, if I remember right, that's the time when we started using the term microfinance. Maybe before we used different terms, right? Credit or whatever, you know. So I think I think we should sort of, while we discuss about different types of microcredit, we should also discuss the kind of development interventions, you know, from pre-77 to 77 onwards. Thank you.
I think Mira's question.
I'll start with the easy one, which is how we do it so that people are not, they are not aware of most of these processes. In our case, I'm now talking not about the bank, but about the movement, which is basically the wider microfinance access. Bank partner with the movement mostly to do the linkage financing, but the cooperative, like my Sanasa movement, in that when we do microfinancing, credit, the basic model is such that you do the member education first before credit. So you have to become a member and start learning about financing and start with small savings and get the financial literacy package first before borrowing. So it's a slower process. It's not very attractive to immediately deliver. But because of that package, even when you go into an immediate delivery, like let's say immediately after post-tsunami or post-war situation, we partnered with some of the local organizations to do this. So local organizations know the customers. Therefore, we don't need too many paperwork to tell us who this customer is. So we partner with the local organization, which is basically the collateral for the bank. So in that way, that has been the easiest way of delivering microfinance without burdening with the paperwork and other kinds of requirements. So that's something probably people need to think about. But looking at the structural thing and seeing microfinance, this is very true because I actually was when one financial company collapsed in this country, I was having a discussion even with my father, saying that you take about 10-15 years with rural community to start getting small savings and more small savings and building a capital base in this country, and just one crazy deal in the market can kill it, capital. And then social costs are getting eroded in the country, and so many other things get eroded. So you just by delivering wider and wider and wider access to microfinance and smaller capital bases alone will not get us into a different economic transformation, right? So this is where I think I would like to bring the other angle to this. If you are actually looking at microfinance and looking at debt as a development tool, there are, and Duran was saying that land, wealth and capital are the three things, but capital can be dissected. There are other capitals, not just financial capital. So I think the biggest thing that you need to learn, if you want to learn from microfinance industries that work, and given some challenge to a structure, is the social capital. It's not the financial capital. Financial capital gives the backbone for the rural communities to voice their thoughts and form institutions, open doors. So definitely you need to have a structural reading and pick your tools if you want to have a different economic transformation.
Okay. Do you want to respond to that?
Yeah, just very briefly, what we also realize this issue, and what we have started is we started training programs for in financial literacy, where we explain what is a flat rate, what is a declining balance rate, what is effective interest rate as opposed to what is the interest rate that is ordered, what is the, so we people who, but it is not forced, it is not for everyone, for people who want it, we provide financial literacy training to, so that they understand what the credit is all about and how to use the credit well, and also some kind of household cash management aspects.
Okay, I think, sorry, can we just come back, because I just like to have the other panelists weigh in as well, and then we can have more comments.